Hey there YouTube, Crispy Charizard here, and this is my second video today after a month of doing nothing. And I wanted to talk about that freaking theory about fire starters and the Chinese Zodiac. And, well, for some of you, you may have never heard of this theory. For some of you, you might be just loath to hear about this theory because you hate it. And some people might actually like it. And I'll admit, until now, I thought this theory worked. But then I went on the internet, saw what other people were saying, and then I just started getting just doubtful about it. But hear me out. Here I am on Google Images of different things people have created to show how they fit. Of course, with Charmander's line being the dragon, Cyndaquil's line being the rat, Torchic's line being the rooster, Chimchar's line being the monkey, Tepig's line being the pig, Fennekin's line being the dog, and Litten's line being the tiger. Well, I honestly think that from my point of view, this fits really well. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. I like it. It's like, I admit, it's not intentional. Game Freak has never acknowledged or confirmed this. But it doesn't have to be exact for it to be just a cool little, piece of, I don't know, coincidental maybe? Just a nice little, fact. Like, I don't know, not a fact, but, how would you say it? I don't know. Fun fact, I guess. And it has even inspired people to create, their own personal fake Pokemon for the future, that they think. And which I don't like their designs. Only real Pokemon look appealing. And what are some people saying? They're saying, oh, the Chinese Zodiac dragon is not the same type of dragon as Charizard or Charmander, because Charmander is not even a dragon. But even if you were to take Charizard instead of Charmander, like here, it's still not a Chinese dragon. Well, it doesn't have to be. Like I said, this is not intentional by Game Freak. They almost definitely did not intend this to be a thing. Therefore, we don't have to claim that they did it on purpose. Because if they did, it would have been a Chinese dragon. So if it's not on purpose and it's just for a coincidence, then isn't it? But if it was a coincidence, well, that's only because it's amazing that it has worked so well 7 times in a row. And when I say 7 times in a row, of course, it didn't really count back then when it was only 1 or 2 generations. You need to see 7 different Pokemon fit at least vaguely or partially into this for it to be considered to be amazingly, too good to be true, a coincidence. So, I don't know, am I digressing? Am I, getting off topic? Let's go back to this really good one, right? Here, yeah. Well, back to Charizard. Even if it's not a Chinese dragon, it is, design-wise, a dragon, period. And since the Chinese dragon is just what the Chinese saw a dragon to be like, doesn't mean that Charizard is not a dragon. Yeah, it's not a dragon type, but that's beside the point. It's designed to look like a dragon, and the Zodiac says dragon, despite the mythology or culture it comes from. And while some people think that it is insulting to the Chinese mythology and their ancient culture to suggest that the Charizard is equivalent to the Chinese Zodiac dragon, but it's not intended to be insulting or intended to be the Zodiac. This is just something that people have noticed because it just looks like it fit. They wouldn't have noticed if it didn't fit this well. So people who are denying this, they are just, I don't know what they're looking at, but they're not looking at what I'm looking at. Charizard is a dragon. Definitely not a Chinese dragon, but still a dragon. Now for something more tricky, that would be Typhlosion. And the reason I'm looking at Typhlosion and not Cyndaquil It's because the final starter should be the one to represent the Zodiac. I mean, who says that the first level of evolution for the fire starters has to be the one? I think that either's fine, especially since Charizard looks more like a dragon than Charmander, who's based off a salamander. So if we're gonna stick with Charmander, then we'll stick with the final evolutions. Now, people say Typhlosion's not a rat. Well, the Pokedex, which is usually very wrong, or at least nonsensical, which I admit, says it's a fire mouse, at least in the Cyndaquil stage. And a mouse and a rat, well, biologically speaking, they're two different species of a very similar family. I mean, if you're going to split mice and rats as the evidence that Typhlosion is not a rat, well, it came from a mouse, didn't it? I don't care if Cyndaquil was based off a hedgehog or an echidna and not a mouse. It is classified as a mouse. And mice, echidnas, and hedgehogs, despite they're not even despite them not all being rodents, they still look similar enough. And the way that the fire burst off of the back of Cyndaquil's whole evolution line makes it look hedgehog-like, that's fine. But it's still, design-wise, and that's what we're going on mostly, design-wise, it looks like a rat. And the Pokedex called it a mouse. So even though people say, oh, it's not a mouse or a rat, well, it's very close to a mouse or a rat. And, well, since they didn't do this thing, Game Freak, they didn't do this thing on purpose, well then, what's wrong with having a little bit of fun with this? It still fits to me. Let's see, Gen 3. People say that Blaziken, or at least Torchic, is not a rooster. Well, Torchic is a chick, despite its gender. And not Combuskin, Blaziken, well, they say, well, chicken or rooster, those two are the same species. Chickens and roosters are the same animal. And Blaziken looks more like a rooster than a chicken with its just blazing appearance. And even if it was a chicken and not a rooster, it's still the same species, so that's at least confirmed. Gen 4. No one has been complaining about this one, whether it be Chimchar or its final evolution, Infernape. They're monkeys. No problems there. Even though chimps are technically not monkeys. Well, mice, rats, monkeys, apes, it's still aesthetic-wise and appearance-wise and design-wise close enough. Now, of course, this is probably not satisfying for some people, but like I said, this is for fun, and it has nothing to do with the claim that Game Freak did this intentionally. They did not do this intentionally. This is just a coincidence. So we already got the dragon, we got the rat, we got the rooster, and we got the monkey. Gen 5, we got Tepig, easily. Tepig is a pig, and Pignite and Emboar are pigs. No problem, we got the pig. Gen 6 is Fennekin. Here, we got another split hair. Fennekin is based off a Fennec fox, and foxes aren't dogs. Foxes aren't dogs. Foxes aren't dogs. Yeah, whatever. Foxes and dogs are both canines. They probably even have common ancestors, as I know that wolves, dogs, and foxes have common ancestors. They're all canines. They cannot breed unless you have some sort of breeding program to bring them more close together. I don't know how it works, but I just know that foxes and dogs are not far enough apart for you to say that. So mice, or rat, or hedgehog, or monkey or chimp, or salamander or dragon or Chinese dragon, fox or dog, rooster or chicken, everything fits so far. We got the dragon, we got the rat, we got the rooster, we got the monkey, we got the pig, and we got the fox dog. I mean, it's a shame that it's not like not a fox and a regular dog, but still, foxes and dogs are practically the same thing. At least they were a long time ago. And finally, we have Gen 7, which I first noticed this theory before Sun and Moon came out. So, if they had made Litten, I don't know, a fire starter that was not based off of a cat, like let's say they based it off of, I don't know, off the top of my head, a bird. And not a chicken or a rooster, but like, let's say a fire. What have they not done yet? Well, obviously, I can't think of that off the top of my head, but let's say that Sun and Moon's fire starter was a animal that we haven't seen before, or even if we have seen before, it 100% did not fit any animal on the Chinese Zodiac. Well then, I would never have made this video if that would have disproved it. But like I said, I strongly believe that Gens 1 through 6 fit very well into the Chinese Zodiac. And guess what? Litten and its evolution line all the way to Incineroar, whether it be a cat or a tiger, because tigers are felines and felines are cats, just like with foxes being canines and canines being dogs. Therefore, if it's a tiger, then it's a cat. And if it's a cat, it's a tiger. So, well then, what do you have to say for yourself then? Like, it fits. You know, I like to point out that sometimes they mention in the Pokemon anime that they do have their own like Zodiac thing. And I haven't been reading manga, and I don't really have the best memory for the anime episodes. But like, I don't know, they have their own Pokemon constellations, and their own like Zodiac with like Tauros being the bull and stuff. And of course, this is not that from the anime. The anime has their own Zodiac. But if we're gonna connect the Chinese Zodiac with the fire starters, I will defend it. If Gen 8 does not give us something that is remotely close to a bull or a rabbit or a a snake? I don't remember the snake being part of the Zodiac. Or a horse or a sheep. Well then, I don't know what to say, but like, seriously, snake? I don't remember the snake. Wait, let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could have sworn that I don't remember a snake being part of the Chinese Zodiac. Well, I never said I'm an expert. My bad. Haha. Well, if that's the case, like I was saying, because I digressed, if Gen 8 were to give us a fire starter that is not even remotely close to a bull or a snake or a sheep or a horse or a rabbit, well then I will gladly say that I was wrong about this this coincidence. And remember, I never said that this was intentional by Game Freak. They didn't admit it, acknowledge it, or anything. This is definitely a cool coincidence. And I'm only bringing it up because some people deny that it fits at all. And I don't want to say that it was intentional by them. I can't stress this enough. I only want to stress that it fits by coincidence, which is good enough for me. Some people deny that. Some people say that, oh no, Cyndaquil is not a rat, Fennekin is not a dog, and Charmander is not a dragon. Well, sure, they're not. Cyndaquil isn't a rat, Fennekin is not a dog, and Charmander is not a dragon. But Charizard is the closest thing to a dragon, Typhlosion is close enough to a rat, and Delphox? Sure, I could call it a dog. It's a fox, right? Foxes are dogs. You really want to bring, up like a whole storm of arguments with me about me being wrong? I mean, how is foxes and dogs not close enough for this to be only a little bit interesting? Just interesting. That's all I'm asking. I don't want this to be official. I'm not asking for that. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, so I'll be making more videos about Gen 8. I will probably never bring this up again until Gen 8 comes out. When Gen 8 comes out, I will mention if I am right or wrong, and I will accept either one. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, well, that's fine too. Haha. And the only reason I sound upset is because I looked today on the internet for the first time and saw a bunch of people hating on this theory, which they have the right to. Because Game Freak never acknowledged that this theory is like official or anything. Like they didn't do this on purpose, and rightly so. It it's just like less creative to base them solely on the Chinese zodiac. All of that is fine. So, when Gen 8 comes out, we will see if the fire starter will be a bull, a snake, a rabbit, a horse, or a sheep, or something close to it. Like these fake artworks, which was from before Litton's time, because I see that they have... Where's the tiger in this one? Oh, there, Fliger. Weird. Anyway. Now, you may be thinking from my mascot Charizard, and my name Crispy Charizard, that I prefer fire starters. Well, not always. Sure, Charizard's awesome, and it wasn't always my favorite, but I don't always choose the fire starter. I might make a separate video discussing which starters I prefer. And, yeah. Again, I only brought this up because this theory was very popular at some point, and some people have even brought it back a little bit when they saw that Litten was going to turn into a tiger, which it did, obviously. So, even if I'm only half right when it comes to these 7 Pokemon, which, like, I'll take it, you know. It's a coincidence. And even if it's not a coincidence, even if it's just like, even if I'm completely wrong, I just wanted to have a bit of fun with this, because I don't know if I have that paranoid thing where I see connections where there are none, which leads to conspiracy theories and all that. But this isn't a conspiracy. This is just a theory that failed for most people, but I will hold on to until I am completely proven otherwise, since I have not seen sufficient evidence that I am wrong as of yet. Well, I think that's all I have for now. Don't worry, I'll be making some more videos a bit now. I mean, maybe today and every day after now. I'll try my best, and I'll see you guys next time.